Namaste and good morning. Welcome to the SolaAne.com Daily Brief, your daily dose of business news that matters. I'm your host, and today is Monday, April 6th, 2026. What a day it's been on Dalal Street. Buckle up because we've got a lot to cover. First up, here are today's top headlines. Headline 1. Indian markets staged a dramatic comeback today, with the Sensex surging nearly 800 points after an early plunge of 590 points. All thanks to hopes of an Iran-US ceasefire. Headline 2. The RBI has cleared the way for Emirates NBD to acquire up to 74% of RBL Bank in a landmark $3 billion deal. The biggest foreign investment in Indian banking ever. Headline 3. Wipro scored a $1 billion win, securing a massive 8-year transformation deal with Singapore's Olam Group. And headline 4. India's brand new Income Tax Act is now officially in effect as of April 1st. And if you run a small business, there's a lot you need to know. Let's dive deeper into the big story of the day. The Iran-US situation continues to dominate global markets, and today was a perfect example of the kind of whiplash investors are dealing with. Markets opened deep in the red. The Sensex crashed nearly 590 points and the Nifty slipped 170 points in early trade, as geopolitical fears gripped trading floors. But then, reports emerged of a possible 45-day ceasefire being brokered by Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey, and that changed everything. By closing bell, the Sensex had climbed 787 points, over 1%, to finish at 74,107. The Nifty rallied 255 points to settle at 22,968. Banking stocks led the charge, with the Nifty Bank Index surging over 2%. HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and Bajaj Finance were all among the top gainers. But here's the catch. President Trump has set a Tuesday deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. If that deadline passes without a deal, we could see another round of heavy selling. Crude oil remains above $100 a barrel, and for India, which imports 85% of its oil, that means rising input costs, wider current account deficit, and pressure on the rupee. So what should you do if you're running a business? If you're in manufacturing, logistics, or food and beverage, anything where fuel and transport costs matter, this is the time to lock in your raw material contracts. Don't wait for prices to spike further. And if you're an exporter, take note. The RBI has extended the export proceeds repatriation window to 15 months and export credit period to 450 days. Use that breathing room. Moving on to our second deep dive, and this one is historic. The Reserve Bank of India has approved Emirates NBD's proposal to acquire up to 74% of RBL Bank for $3 billion. This is the largest foreign direct investment ever in India's banking sector. Think about that. A Dubai-based bank is about to become the majority owner of an Indian private bank. Emirates NBD will launch an open offer at 280 rupees per share. While voting rights are capped at 26%, this deal signals a major shift in how foreign capital views Indian banking. RBL Bank will essentially operate as a foreign bank subsidiary going forward. For MSMEs, this could be good news. Foreign-backed banks often bring in more competitive lending products, better digital infrastructure, and stronger trade finance capabilities. If you bank with RBL or are looking for new banking relationships, keep this on your radar. The transition could bring new products tailored for small businesses. Now let's talk about a big win for Indian IT. Wipro announced today that it has secured an 8-year strategic transformation deal with Olam Group, the $50 billion Singapore-based food and agri giant. The deal is valued at over $1 billion with $800 million committed. Wipro will also acquire Olam's IT services arm, Mindsprint, which has 3,200 employees based primarily in India. This is significant because it shows Indian IT companies are moving up the value chain, from pure services to consulting-led, AI-powered transformation engagements. Wipro shares jumped nearly 4% on the news. For business owners in the food and agriculture supply chain, this deal tells you something important. Digital transformation in agribusiness is accelerating. If you're still running your procurement or supply chain on spreadsheets, it's time to look at digital tools. The big players are investing billions in this space, and the technology will trickle down to MSMEs sooner than you think. So, what does all this mean if you're running a business in India today? First, brace for volatility this week. The Iran-US deadline is Tuesday, and the RBI MPC decision comes on Wednesday, April 8th. Markets could swing wildly in either direction. If you have investments, don't panic sell. The fundamentals haven't changed. Second, the new Income Tax Act is now live. The good news? It's been simplified from 819 sections to 536, and forms have been cut from 390 to 190. The confusing assessment year concept is gone. It's just tax year now. If you're a small business owner who's been dreading tax season, this should make life a bit easier. Talk to your CA this week. Third, if you're an MSME feeling the squeeze from rising oil prices and input costs, you're not alone. Banks are seeing a spike in working capital drawdowns. The RBI is aware. They've extended export credit timelines, and there's talk of potential debt moratoriums. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out to your bank about restructuring options. And fourth, the India-Oman trade agreement, the CEPA, is now operational as of this month. If you're in textiles, food processing, auto components, or renewable energy, Oman has opened zero duty access on 98% of its tariff lines. That's a new market waiting for you. That's your solarane.com daily brief for today. If you're thinking about buying or selling a business, head over to solarane.com. That's 16ane.com, where we make business deals sola ane paka. See you tomorrow.